social tile wasn't a good enough storytelling tool for us. It was able to provide the kilograms of hair, the liters of chemicals, for example, but it wasn't able to go into the detail of the amazing impact. Felt like from speaking to our customers, that was the missing link. There's really only one way to be able to capture people's attention and tell those stories. Primarily, we wanted our members to engage and watch it. We did exceed our campaign goals. More than anything, it was seeing all that community love and the excitement. Press play, all of our members got the campaign, everything went live at the same time. And we were nervous, of course, because it was the first time we did this. So I was sitting there refreshing.
Hi everyone, I'm Josias from Pirsonal. Today we are excited to sit down with someone who helped turn a traditional overlooked format, a yearly PDF report, into a personalized annual report video that members actually watched, understood, and shared. Joining me is Lucy O'Keefe. Oh man, no, that's not it. O'Keefe? O'Keefe. Thank you, Lucy. Marketing Manager at Sustainable Salons. She's going to walk us through how they made it happen, what surprised them, and how this could be a repeatable model for any brand trying to turn data into emotion and action. Lucy, to get us started, tell us a bit about Sustainable Salons and your role there.
Hi, I'm the marketing manager at Sustainable Salons. So I've been with the organization for 7 years almost now. So we're a profit for purpose organization based in Australia and New Zealand. We provide a service to hair salons, barbers, pet groomers, and beauty and dermal clinics, collecting up to 95% of their salon waste bin. So that includes all of the hair, metals, paper, plastics, even their chemicals. So what we do is we take these resources and we turn them into new products to keep them out of landfill. So this includes making hair booms to soak up oil spills out of the hair clippings, making combs made out of shampoo bottles that we've collected from the salons. So we're really all about closing the loop on an industry that traditionally had a lot of waste. So we currently partner with 1,500 salons and companies across Australia and New Zealand of various sizes. So they could be larger corporations, or they could even be home salons and anything in between. So we've got quite a variety of customers and a service that can really cater to all of them.
What does your annual report campaign typically aim to achieve?
So every year we provide all of the salons on our program with a personalized impact certificate, we call it. So that certificate has the amount of waste that they have diverted from landfill since they joined the program. So for a hair salon, that could include the kilograms of hair clippings we've swept up off the floor and recycled. It could include the kilograms of shampoo bottles, the liters of salon color that we've successfully recycled with them. So this is a really important engagement piece for us to celebrate the positive impact that they're making. It reaffirms their commitment to the program and the membership with us. And most importantly, it gives them an asset that they can share with their clients. As a B2B business, it's not just about what we communicate to our direct customers, but what they're also able to communicate to their customers about the positive impact they're making on our program.
I don't know if there is help for people like maybe there is something that can be done.
There's something
here
for everyone. We've got barbers on our program. We'll find you one.
That's good. So what were some of the challenges, for instance, the PDF format and even email campaigns? I believe you also used images, at least in the past. So what were some of the challenges you were facing until now?
Yeah, we've been through a number of variations with our impact certificate over the years. Most recently, until we worked with you and your team, we had a static social media tile. So that was a square tile that we would make for everyone. I'd say our challenges, there were two primary ones. The first one I'd say is a positive challenge. We're growing. So like I mentioned, we've got 1,500 members across Australia and New Zealand who are on our program and want to communicate their impact to their clients, which means that we can no longer individually create marketing assets for them. It's not possible. We've got a small but mighty team, but we can't be creating individual videos or individual tiles. We do need tools that help us personalize this information for them. And our other challenge, like I mentioned, was that we were using static assets because most tools will only provide personalization of data with a static asset like a tile.
Mm-hmm.
And in our case, it got to the point where a social tile wasn't a good enough storytelling tool for us. It was able to provide the kilograms of hair, the liters of chemicals, for example, but it wasn't able to go into the detail of the amazing impact that was created by recycling those. And we felt like from speaking to our customers, that was the missing link. And there's really only one way to be able to capture people's attention and tell those stories, and that is through video. So that's the reason why we started looking for an alternate solution.
Was there like a particular moment or insight that made you think there has to be a more engaging way to deliver this story?
It's a good question. I think there are a few things. We're a customer first organization. So primarily we respond to the needs of our customers. We'd noticed that we'd started getting less engagement and less social shares of our campaign in 2024. And the feedback from our members indicated that maybe they'd seen that asset before enough and it wasn't something new and it wasn't giving them enough information. And for us, we really respond firstly of customer feedback. Myself as an individual and a consumer myself love Spotify. And every year I look forward to Spotify Wrapped. And so we'd always had this idea in our mind of being able to replicate something like that, where we can go into a little bit more detail with our customers' experience with our program. And Spotify Wrapped kind of became the brief or example that I gave to our amazing IT team when they began looking for a tool.
Spotify had done a really good job at helping people understand their own story throughout the year.
They did. And I think another big part of that I haven't touched on yet is I think something Spotify has done really well is it's not just your experience watching it as the user. They've also created a really good asset that people can then share on their socials. And the other really big part of our campaign is we don't just want our salons to watch it, we want them to be able to share that positive impact and the good news with their clients. So another really big part of the brief that was given to our IT team was having an asset at the end that we could then encourage our members to share on social media. And video felt like the right format. Reels are so popular at the moment. Salons have a heavy presence on Instagram, for example. So we wanted to make something that could very easily translate on Instagram.
So when comparing images versus videos, even though they are kind of compatible, do you feel that videos are being more shared or were more shared than images?
Yeah, so previously with our static social tile, it was personalized to their data, but because it was only one tile, it really couldn't go in depth to the level that we needed. And the algorithm for Instagram is always changing. So between carousels and reels, they're really the top two. And we felt like at the time, the only way that we could get the good news and the feel-good elements of our program, the positive impact they're making, is from a video.
When you landed on the idea of personalized annual video report or report videos, what were you hoping would happen?
We had a few campaign goals. I think primarily we wanted our members to engage and watch it. So we had a specific KPI around the number of members, or the percentage I should say, that were able to watch the video and engage with it, because overall we want our amazing members to watch it and know that they are making a huge impact every single day when they're sweeping hair off the floor or shampooing someone's hair at the basin. So we wanted to remind them of that. And then the other sort of goal of the campaign was the percentage of social shares. So we were tracking every single member that did share the video as well. So they were sort of our main goals that we had, and we had numbers attached to that based off previous years' performance. And then as an internal goal, we wanted something that was very easy for our team to use. We're a profit for purpose organization. We have an amazing small team that works extremely hard. So we really needed a tool that is very intuitive. We wanted something that worked well with Canva, as this is the tool that we primarily create videos on. And we wanted something that could create the customer experience that we needed for our members, which was simple download of the video, simple way of actually sending it to them in the first place. So making sure that we could send them a link, they could easily open it on their phone, they could absorb it, download it with one click, and then share on their platform.
Okay, that makes sense. So you weren't, so it was not just about them, the customers sharing the video, but also you wanted somehow to, you wanted them to feel recognized. And a way to do that was by delivering the content that would somehow show what they were doing and making it easier for them to share that content with their network. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. So in the video itself that we've created, it gave us the opportunity, because it was video, to put awesome B-roll in there. So we were able to put B-roll of the products that are made out of their salon waste, of the people that are receiving meals that have been donated because of the sale of their salon waste. So we could really provide a more tangible example of what's actually happening, and those clips do invoke emotion in people. It makes them feel good, it makes their clients feel good, and is really hard to do that with a static social tile.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about execution. So you mentioned you have a small team. What did that look like in terms of the people involved, and how did you all juggle this with everything else on your plate? Because I'm assuming campaign season, like there is way more than just the personalized videos. So you had a lot on your plate probably. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so at the time, it's our 10th anniversary this year as a company. So at the time, we were actually on a tour around Australia and New Zealand doing events in all of the capital cities. So it was definitely a situation where we were juggling a few different campaigns, and it was really easy to work with the Pirsonal team. So we had members of the marketing team creating the video in Canva. And Canva is a very easy tool to work with. Anyone in marketing, or anyone even outside of marketing, will know how intuitive it is as a tool. It meant that we were able to very easily create that video. All the necessary internal stakeholders, including our senior leadership, were able to easily watch, comment, approve in Canva. And then because we purchased the additional campaign management tool in Pirsonal, we were able to send that video to the Pirsonal team, and they took care of the rest. We provided the video, we provided the impact data, and then they made it in Pirsonal.
In terms of time, do you remember how long it took you, like to go from idea to launch? Was it like a long research process? Then once you decided how to do this exactly, how long did it take for it to be live?
Definitely less than 6 months. I do remember we had a workshop where we finally decided we were going to move forward with our Spotify Wrapped concept, as we called it at that point in time. And then the research process began. At the same time as our IT team was doing the research process, the marketing team was mapping out what that ideal journey would look like for our customers watching the video, but then also what the messaging is. What do we really want to get across to our customers at this time? So we were able to do that parallel. And then I can't remember exactly, but from the point that we met you and your team, it all happened fairly quickly. And we were able to hit our campaign deadline of early June, which was awesome.
That's great to hear. Thank you. What made you choose Pirsonal from any other options you were considering back then?
Yeah, that's a great question. There were a few considerations for us. One main one, like I've mentioned, was being able to create the video in Canva. There are other tools that you can use to create videos. However, this is the tool we use most often. The most people are comfortable within the organization creating content there. So it was great that we were able to find a tool like Pirsonal that could receive the Canva file and work off that. And then when it comes to the video itself, not having to compromise on our brand was extremely important. We have found in the past with static personalization and merging options that you do have to compromise on brand elements such as your font or your colors. And that was something that we really didn't want to do. This was a big piece for us, and we wanted to be able to keep our brand intact. And it was very attractive to us that with Pirsonal, we didn't have to use another font, for example. We didn't have to compromise on our colors as well. So from a video perspective, that was great. And then above all else, we needed it to be in a social format. So we needed it to be 9:16. That was a must-have for us, and I'm sure you remember that from our first conversation. Our audience is, so our customers are on the floor all day. They're in the salon. They're not in front of the computer like other B2B business owners might be. So social format, something that's very easy to watch on mobile and share on Instagram, was 100% a need. And then other things that helped us make that decision was that we had the landing page. It is, as everyone knows, it's very difficult to share like a straight MP4 file with a large group of people, and it doesn't really give you the opportunity to provide as much context on the file that you're sharing. So knowing that we could create a landing page for every single one of our members, where it had their name, the salon name, it had a little bit more information on what they were receiving, was great for us. And then the last thing that solidified that decision was having an easy process for people to download the video. 100% a must-have. Our customers are busy salon owners. They need something where they can very easily on their phone watch a video, click a button and download it. They don't want to have to go through multiple steps. So knowing that Pirsonal could work with us and provide that customizable call to action at the end, where they can download the video, was what sold us in the end.
That's good. That's good to hear. And in terms of, because if I'm not mistaken, you didn't have previous experience with this. Did you feel that we supported you, like your team in the process, or did you feel somehow lost? Was it easy, or what was your experience from that angle?
Very positive. While we haven't approached a personalized video campaign before, we have done many projects with external brands, and depending on the company and the people that we're working with, they may understand the customer side of a campaign, or they may not. And it's really important for us as a customer first organization to always put our customers at the forefront of the decisions we're making, even if they are IT decisions. So it was really refreshing to be able to work with yourself and the team. And I remember one of the first questions you asked us was what our members needed, what the best experience was for our customers. And that does make such a difference, because it means that we don't need to compromise on really essential parts of the journey for them. So that made it work really well. And then from the specific campaign management perspective, it was all very smooth. It all took place in your project management tool. And like I mentioned, because we got the campaign management service on top of our plan, it meant that we didn't have to worry. We provided all the data we need to provide, and the team really did the rest. And I remember having next to no comments, I think, once they built the video in the system. It was really easy. And then the hypercare period afterwards was great. There were lots of recommendations on how to improve and how to build upon the momentum that we had. So I found that also quite useful at the time.
Okay, so we often say that we walk with you, and I love when yeah, that I love when I see teams that feel that way. So that's refreshing. So from the results perspective, so tell us what happened when the campaign went live. What kind of engagement did you see from members?
Yeah, it was extremely positive when it went live. While I won't share like the specific numbers here today, we did exceed our campaign goals for this one, which was great. But I think more than anything, it was seeing all that community love and the excitement. So we pressed play, all of our members got the campaign, everything went live at the same time. And we were nervous, of course, because it was the first time we did this. So I was sitting there refreshing our Instagram tag section, waiting for the first person. And I was pleasantly surprised where within minutes we'd already had someone share the video. And then throughout the day, they just kept coming. And when I got to work the next day and saw that it was like tens of members that had already shared it, it was amazing. And having hundreds of members sharing it within the first 5 days there's nothing that beats that feeling, not just the personal satisfaction, but more so seeing our members engaging with their community and the beautiful responses from their clients who were really proud to be a client of that salon, and our members being really proud to be a member of our program. So it was just a really beautiful week full of lots of positivity.
That's awesome. So how did this year's performance compare to previous year in review campaigns, or regardless of the format, in terms of engagement, visibility, and maybe impact on the team's morale?
Yeah, extremely positively in terms of the actual results. So we by far increased the percentage of social sharing, which was one that we really were focused on because it was the one that dropped significantly the year before. So very positive there. It's become a really great tool for our field team to use. So we still have members sharing the video 5 months on now. So our field team still, if they're going into a salon or they have a meeting with the salon, they will share their impact video if they've seen that they haven't already shared it themselves. And sometimes the salon hasn't seen it for whatever reason, and it creates a really nice touch point for them and a great reason for them to get in contact with them. So I think from a team perspective, extremely positive.
So it also became an asset these businesses can also use throughout the year. Is that correct?
Definitely. So for us, we don't get to see in person all of our salons all at once. We have an amazing field team, but they're working through seeing the salons, or they might chat to them digitally. And it's really great to be able to start a conversation with, have you seen your amazing impact? Check out this video. And for them to be able to then reshare it on socials. So I've seen even this week, even though we're in November, a member share their video only the other day. So it's definitely an asset that we'll be able to continue to use before we refresh it again in June next year.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So would you say that it also became or has become or is becoming a tool for your field teams, for your are they like sales reps? Are they business development people, or what do you mean by team?
Yeah, business development. So definitely a tool to engage with our existing customers, because we created them for the customers that were on our program, but very useful tool for them if they're doing a refresher or they're going in to just do a little check-in, see how the salon is tracking. If they know they haven't shared it already, like I mentioned, it's a good conversation starter for them.
Okay. So a lot of people see numbers in a report and tune out. So usually, and that's something we try to share a lot. Let's say, but stats don't always speak for themselves. They do need context. And why do you think storytelling and animation made that information easier to digest and perhaps remember for your audience?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think there's a couple of things, but I think we're in a really fortunate position where the work we do is helping not just us as a business, but mostly the planet and our community. And it is really hard for people to visualize impact of that scale. So for example, we as a company have diverted more than 2 million kilograms of salon waste from landfill. And that's impossible for us to, with our minds, visualize what that looks like. And for our salons, it's really hard for them to visualize what 3,000 kilograms of hair clippings diverted from their salon means. So for us to be able to not only tell them that it's 3,000 kilograms diverted from their salon, but that's been made into X number of hair booms to soak up oil spills, it's really powerful because it gives them a way to really think about and also explain to their clients what is happening to their salon waste afterwards. So I think that's a really core part of how video is such a powerful storytelling tool.
Yeah, you have different audiences at the same time. So ages, geographies, knowledge of technology. So yeah, that makes complete
Definitely.
sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of marketing managers at B2B2C organizations want to do something like this, but somehow feel overwhelmed. What would you say to someone considering a personalized video campaign or Spotify style campaign for the first time?
I would say map out your ideal campaign journey to begin with. So that was the first step we did. So that was not only what we wanted that main asset, in this case the video, to look like and the messages, it was also what we wanted the whole experience to be. So how we delivered that, whether it was through SMS, whether it was through our app that we have for our members, up until what we wanted them to do with that video and the easiest way for them to share that. So once we'd mapped that out, we could really quickly identify what our must-haves were in a tool. And without doing that, we would not have been able to do the proper research and find the tool that we needed at the time. And I think another important consideration is also your resources. Doing a personalized campaign can feel really overwhelming at first, especially if you've got a small team. So I think that's where going into the conversations with companies like yourself and being really transparent about your timeframes and what your internal resources and tools are is a must-have when approaching these situations. But what I would definitely recommend to people who are thinking of using Pirsonal would be to use the campaign management add-on for your first campaign that you run. For us, it gave us a chance to understand how the tool works under less of a pressured environment. So we had the opportunity to go in and see how to set up the videos and make them within Pirsonal, but we also had a team holding our hand who could actually deliver it for us at the other end.
We also know this campaign didn't completely replace PDF report. So in fact, if I'm not mistaken, people had the option to download report. Actually, like video and the information you can share in a short video and the information you can share in a more detailed report. Those are like two different things that somehow can work really well together. Can you walk us through how you used the video to lead people into the full report and why that worked well, I believe, together?
Yeah, definitely. So we have our personalized video asset, which every salon member received, and that had their personal impact that they've made, so their recycling. Then we have our impact report, which is available as a PDF or printed, and that's a 20-page document which goes into much more detail on our program and how it works. So that document includes all of our impact stats as a network, as a total, and then stories about different areas. So about the ponytail donation program we have, it has more information on how we work with some of our charity partners like Oz Harvest and Kiwi Harvest here in Australia and New Zealand. It has the latest stories on the innovations that are being made from their salon waste. So for example, the latest product we've made is actually a brick made with hair. So it has all of those cool stories that, again, you're not quite able to fit in a video because it's long form copy. So those assets were really complementary because we were able to give them the video with their stats, with a couple of examples of what's being made out of their waste, and then back it up with the more comprehensive impact report that they could go into with more detail. They could keep it in their salon for clients as well.
Okay. So Lucy, thank you. You and your team created something that is memorable and authentic. And in my view, it's already inspiring other marketing leaders. So we are grateful you trusted us for this campaign. More to come, God willing. And if you're watching and wondering how your brand could turn a data-driven report into something people feel understand and share, like this personalized annual report video, let's talk. Head to pirsonal.com or reach out directly. And Lucy, again, thank you very much for this connection, also for your time.
Thank
Again,
you for
thank
having
you.
me.